is actually indeed a well thought of, prudent decision indeed. And taking into consideration the safety and health of our children, which is paramount importance to us, this was the best that could have been done in this pandemic situation. So I am happy with the decision which the government has taken. And the pandemic has indeed pushed us out of our comfort zones and brought us an opportunity to critically examine our education system. And then obviously, I would say change it for better. As you were talking about the university admissions and other things. So indeed, for ages, we have been talking about that the education system needs an overhaul. So this is the time that we get that to overhaul the education system. And the NEP 2020 also pointed towards it. And why only NEP 2020? If I pick up Kothari Commission 1968, it talks about all these things: competency-based syllabus, learning to learn, real learning, constructivist approach, etc. So all these were enshrined in that also. But somehow, maybe because of the bulk of the students that we have and to sieve the best, maybe this was coming out as the best policy. But now we know that that 3-year examination cannot take us further, and we have to devise new methodologies to assess the cream or assess the competencies of the students, the core competencies of collaboration, critical thinking, communication, which are core to a person to take up any job for per se, whatever. Okay, so like we can say literacy and numeracy, if someone has, then Google is the whole basket. You can pick and choose and learn whatever you wish to. And the National Assessment and Accreditation Council, which has been set, also I'm sure is going to help us in that. And the 360-degree assessments, assessment for learning and assessment as learning would be the way forward in this scenario. So in this way, I would like to say, yes, indeed, the cancellation of board examination and the n number of debates that preceded it will help us identify the learning gaps, identify the gaps in the education system. And it has taught us many lessons as to how to make it more equitable and resilient.
But nevertheless, I think I look at this one in two ways. One is from the point of view of cancelling CBSE examinations, and the second one is about, is there any scope for improvising the testing mechanism itself? I think I look at two ways. One is about the very idea of cancelling examination. I think, let me speak here more as a father. I think not as an educationist, but I think if I look at it as a father, I definitely feel absolutely saddening. There's no doubt about it, because the way my daughter, and likewise I've been talking to a lot of children of her classmates, and I also have counseled a lot of parents and their children, and with that little experience, I would say strongly that for the last 1 year, the kids have been studying, and added to that, the uncertainty brought in by the pandemic. And then despite that, they want to do well, right? They want to do well for the examinations, and they're looking forward to it. And why I said saddening, because I think it was more of an administrative decision than a decision that has been taken, keeping in mind the future of students. Because the very NEP tells us about what is called as the gross enrollment ratio. And then we have one of the worst gross enrollment ratios in the world. And even if you look at developing countries, and then we're talking about right now it is about 26%, and then by we want to move it up to 30% by 2024. I think that's a far fetch. Now it doesn't make any sense, because it's not going to be there at all. So I think even if you look at the next one is about okay, I mean that's fine. What else do you think the government could have done? I think they had all the time in the world to have planned for it. And that is something that I would hold them completely and dearly for that. So from the point of view of best practice, we might counter-argue and say that do we have examples? Yes, there are examples. For example, if you look at Spain and South Korea, for example, China, for example, at least these three countries I know for sure that, for example, if you take Spain, at some point of time it reported the high number of deaths and things like that. But yet, all that it has done is it has made sure that the students have taken the test, right? And the only thing is, it has I won't say diluted, but then it has used components, and therefore still there is what is a sanctity for the examination, because this 12th class examination results are the passports, or the what is a visiting card to the higher studies. And if you tweak there, and especially in the wrong way, I think that's what I think personally, as a father, definitely that is something that I know that was not welcome. And the second one is there any scope for improvising the result? I mean, the way we test the children? Yes, absolutely yes, because I think it is well argued, and also voiced over many years, and especially in the last 1 or 2 years. Thanks to pandemic, I think there are ways and means to different ways and means to test the children, because I think one is because the very system is such that the teacher teaches one session, right, and then he teaches in over a period of time. But then if you look at the student, it is exactly opposite. Now he's supposed to remember all that the teacher has taught the entire year in just about 3 years time, and 3 hours time. I think that way it is going to be very difficult for the child, and therefore the mental faculties are going to be frozen, because we're going to condition his or her learning. So therefore, I think there are enough and more models in the world where people are using these models to. One is definitely the continuous evaluation system. There is no doubt about it. Again, within that, what is the best way to test, depending on the discipline? Because let's say you have science discipline, you have arts, humanities, and maybe commerce, etc. So each one of them will have a different a tool that can be amenable to test their knowledge. So I think that would be my two cents on these two ideas, Devyani.
There are a few things which I wanted to mention here. The first thing is that, as Charima mentioned, this is the time to change, and it is the right time, which we have a lot of opportunities with the help of technology. First thing is that, as rightly pointed by Dr. Nagendra, parents are much more worried than students, because for the students, they may be pretty clear on what they want to do, but parents are much concerned about the children's future. See, because the children nowadays are much more smarter than teachers and parents, so they know how to find out some information from Google. So the thing is, of course, the decision is both good and bad. I'll just point out an example. For example, we have a campus in Kerala, and in Kerala they have already conducted the +2 exams, that is the state board exams. But at the same time, the CBSE exams are not happening, so they have cancelled the CBSE exams. So how do we weight both the boards? So that is a little confusing for us, and you cannot expect a candidate who is planning to do a BCom to come for an online proctoring test. No, it is impossible. So then the only option available is to go through some interview process. So interview process becomes so elaborate, so tedious when you have this online system, scheduling and calling the students, connectivity, those issues. So one way it is good that, from my perspective, I think the students and parents have to come out from this examophobia, because they think that +2 exam is something, will define the future. Definitely not. Because the exam will be repeated again in BTech or any degree. And they will further have a lot of confusions when they go for placements. So when they attend an interview, again, it is an exam. So it is not stopping at +2 level, and let us not give that kind of an importance to this. And as I remember the dean of Amrutapuri campus, he used to tell, every day has to be an exam. Every class has to be an exam. So that is how he thinks of education, because we have to come out from this rote learning, mugging up of syllabus. Because I know when I ask some questions, the students will say that this was not part of the syllabus. So teachers are teaching from the syllabus point of view, students are learning from the syllabus point of view, and they always say that, oh, I learned for 2 marks, but you asked for 5 marks. How will I answer? So they don't know how to present a concept. So that has to change, and I am 100% sure this NEP will change the entire scenario. But still, the big question mark is, how do we practice? All theories are good to see, but how do you practice it? How do you train the teaching community? How do you uplift the teaching community, which is very, very important? And at this point of time, the public universities are going with the +2 marks. So let us say, state board exams have been conducted. CBSE have cancelled these. So how will the public universities weigh both these students? So that is also of great confusion. And there are some chances that the students who are poor in learning, they might get better marks compared with the other students. So all these issues can be a great concern. So my suggested solution is that at this point of time, maybe for the next 2 or 3 months, the students and parents have to do a thorough research on the different courses available, the selection criteria of different colleges, and we have wonderful NIRF ranking. They can always go through the ranking website and see what is the admission process, and then they go to a college where they can satisfy the criteria. And I'm 100% sure that just like last year, even if they take admission in the college, the UGC will direct them to refund in case they want to cancel the admission. So there are plenty of opportunities. So rather than brooding over what will happen in future, etc., it is the ideal situation is to sit and do an online thorough research, find out what are the courses available for me, and corresponding colleges or institutions available nearby house or outside the states, wherever. And according to that, you move forward. So that is what I want to say. Overall, it is good as well as bad. It depends on how we utilize this situation.